Hello and welcome to another episode of Wellness for Wealth TV. I am your host, Natalia, aka Nat, life strategist, certified wellness coach, and founder of the Make It Happen Success System. I'm here with you every week, bringing you strategies of life and business so that you can use them and achieve outrageous success. Now, if you're an entrepreneurial woman, if you're an ambitious woman, if you are a winning woman, you are in the right place because you're my people. So let me know who's here. I am curious who here wants to be more productive and less busy. I do. So give me some hearts. Let me know if you're wanting this, because like I said, you're in the right place if you are. Hey, Sakshi, darling. Just before we start, I want to get a sense of where you're at in your entrepreneurial journey. Are you thinking about starting a business? Are you in business already, or like maybe 1 to 3 years? Or are you, a seasoned entrepreneur? You've got lots on the go. So let me know, because that will help, and I will drive the conversation accordingly. So I'm hoping the guys next door don't start causing noise, but if they do, I might have to relocate. But it's just so nice to be with you guys here in the garden. Let me know where you guys are. I'm in Canada at the moment. I remember when I used to feel so busy, when I was just running around and doing so many different things, and I was schooling part-time, working full-time, and that was one thing, but like starting a business, being an entrepreneur, that is a totally different ball game. Let me know if you can relate to this. I would get so frustrated because I was working longer than I used to. I was working harder than I used to, like I'd never worked before. And my mind was just full of ideas. Like I was just wanting to do everything. I wanted to do it all. And I would get so distracted so easily. But when I was trying to do it all, it's like, I wanted to do it all because when anyone would ask me, this is like the very beginning of my journey, but so how's that business going? And you'd be like, yeah, it's good. I'm really busy. Yeah, I look really busy. And I was really busy. I was working, crazy hours, like 12 to 14 hours, in front of the computer all day, just trying to absorb everything and anything that I could, freebie after freebie, course after course. I wanted to make my business a total success. And I remember I was creating my website. I was doing social media content. I was, creating my success system with the IAWP, which is where I got my certification from. But at the same time, I was doing all the things, but I was now stressed. I was now getting irritable to people that I loved dearly and who were supporting me. And I could tell I was en route to burnout land, okay? And as a recovering workaholic, I know very well what this looks like and what it feels like. And then you know what happened? I got a sciatica. I don't know if you've ever experienced that. Let me know if you have, but I got a sciatica and it totally stopped me in my tracks. I was in so much pain. I had to go to the hospital, I had to get an injection, and it was terrible. Like, I hope no one ever has to go through it, and I hope I don't ever get it again. But I hadn't had this kind of hip pain ever, but really since leaving corporate, I think that was like a signal for me that I needed to change, because I did have some hip pain, but it was nothing like this. So, I thought to myself, like, this is not why I left a high-paying job to get to feel worse, to feel more unhealthy, to fall into old habits. No, this is not why anyone starts a business. We start a business because we want more time freedom, we want more financial freedom. And yes, there's lots of different whys, and everyone has their own personal why. But I just remember thinking, like, at that time, when I had the sciatica, I was like, this is not cool. This is not going to work. And so, I realized I was falling back into some bad habits. So I needed to change. I started to work with a business coach, and I learned everything about how to create a business, but also how to run a business, and not just run a business, but like a profitable business. There's a huge difference because, anyone can create a business. Anyone right now can create an online business, but to run it effectively, profitably, that's a totally different thing. And it's no wonder why people fail within their first 1 to 3 to 5 years of business, because, and you're seeing it, it's more competitive. It's, there's lots of things, but I'm not saying this to discourage you, by the way. Everyone can do this. Everyone can run a profitable online business. But, there was a lot of retraining of habits and a lot of reflection on how I was spending my time and what I was working on. Because we do get caught up in the doing. We get caught up in the doing and we forget about the being. And whenever I get a chance to pause and just give you the definition of what wellness is, because even before I knew what wellness was, I was like, what is wellness? But wellness is this, it's exploding because we're seeing how important it is. But wellness is a state of being. It's an active process of becoming aware of and making choices towards a happier, healthier, and more fulfilling life. That's what wellness is. Tony Robbins, if you listen to him, I love Tony. I love Dean Graziosi. There's so many people that I look up to because they've achieved what I want to achieve. But Tony talks about this all the time, getting into peak state. So, I started implementing everything from mindset to planning to, strategizing to goal setting to tracking, success tracking, actually using key performance indicators, because it's not about likes and all that stuff. It's way more if you know your numbers, you're laughing. But the other thing was I started to feel less busy because I was being more productive, because I was being more intentional with my time, because I was being more intentional with my goals. And, my stress levels were down, and I was able to make sure that I was working on the right things, basically. So let me give you 3 tips right now that you can use to help you be more productive and less busy. And then I have something for you at the end as well. But tip number 1, understand what you want to achieve. Really get in touch with it, because I can't tell you how many people I speak to on discovery calls and strategy sessions that they want to change, they want to create a business, but they don't have that clear vision, or they have a vision but it's not crystal clear. So it's no wonder that they're feeling stuck or feeling lost or feeling like they're not progressing, because when progression is happiness, really. And I can relate. I used to hate getting those questions, and I remember in high school, I don't know if you ever did this because I grew up in Canada, but when you would get these oh, what kind of job are you going to get when you grow up? And I would always get stuff like office or administration. I'm like, oh, these don't look so appealing. And in job interviews, I used to hate getting that question, oh, where do you see yourself in 3 to 5 years, right? It used to be so daunting to me. I'd be like, oh my God, I don't know. But now I'm like, yeah, where do I see myself in 3 to 5 years? And you have fun with it. You have fun. When you have fun with stuff like that, you're like, oh, well, I can do this. You can literally do, and have anything you want. And actually, I've really grasped that, in fact, you are in charge of your own destiny. You are in charge. Life is truly what you make it. I can't tell you how many times I used to hear that and be like, yeah, but life is truly what you make it. And if you don't have plans, if you don't make plans, if you don't have goals, then you shouldn't be surprised when you all of a sudden look around. You're like, oh, this isn't where I wanted to be. So tip number 2, have a deadline. In Stephen Covey's book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he talks about one of the habits being start with the end in mind. And this is so key because a lot of us, we just want to start things, especially as entrepreneurs. Like, I'm so guilty of this. I want to start. But then I don't ever end up finishing anything because I get distracted or I get excited about something. And I'm like, I've learned to now just be like, okay, I'm going to write that down and I'm going to come back to it later. I'm going to plan out when I can actually do it. Because it's not going to happen if I add just everything onto my plate right now. People they spend their whole lives waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect time. But it never is. Like, it's never going to be the perfect time. And you don't realize that all you need is the certainty of knowing where you're going. And the action, and what action you need to take to actually get there. To get to where you want to go. So we all say that we don't have time. We all say that we don't have money. We all say that we don't have X yet. But that is a victim mentality. We need to snap out of that. That is not how we want to be speaking to ourselves or to anybody, because manifestation, the law of attraction, all that stuff, like, the universe is listening, God is listening, or whatever you believe in is there. And if you say things like, I'm too busy, I don't have time for that, you're never going to make time for it. It's not going to be a priority. You have to prioritize what's important to you. You have to prioritize what is important to you moving forward in your business, in your life, according to your goals. And that is like a worker mentality that you have to change. We have to get into winner mode. We have to start with, who do we need to be to do the things that we want to do, and then the have will come naturally. It's that be, do, have model. I'm organized, I am bold, I'm passionate, I'm successful, I'm wealthy. That goes way further than I'm busy, I don't have time, I am stressed. Like, those are negative states. We want to be in positive statements. So, when you feel like that, just say, I am, and use positive ways of thinking. I'm not saying suppress the other stuff, because you want to deal with that stuff. You want to deal with it. You can be positive, but still deal with the negative stuff that comes up, because that's how we grow, that's how we evolve, and that's how we succeed. It's actually exactly. The key is not to prioritize what's on our schedule, but to schedule our priorities and move ahead 100%. Attitude is absolutely everything. So the last tip, make sure your goals are realistic and relevant to what you want to achieve. So there's no sense doing something if it doesn't fit with your overall vision or your overall goals or objectives. If it's not going to help you progress forward in your life or your business, then you really need to consider why you're doing it. Like Oprah says this. She says, you got to know why you're doing anything, or you got to know why you're anywhere. And I 100% agree, like, your time is precious. You are precious. And the world needs you. So you have to be really realistic with and make sure that your goals are relevant to what you want to achieve. I always say vision is the destination, strategy is the pathway there, but you are the key to making it happen. So you don't have to have everything all at once, and you don't have to wait for the perfect time to move forward. But you do have to be clear about what you want, what your goals are, what you want to achieve. They have to be, like I talk about SMART goals a lot, so specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. We talked about the T here, and we talked about the R here, the relevant and the timely. So just to recap, so you are in charge of your own destiny. That is number one. And no one is going to do that for you. And the 3 things that you can do to feel more productive and less busy are, number 1, understand exactly what it is that you want to achieve. Number 2, set timelines. Number 3, make sure your goals are realistic and relevant. Now, my gift for you for tuning in today is I'm actually going to give you 5 tips for clearer goals that you can download and use on your own. You can use them right away, right after this video finishes. I'm going to upload the link. If you're having troubles or if you want to share your goals with me, I love to hear from you. Just reply back to me on message or send me an email if you want. But yeah, use that to set clearer goals. Remember, vision is the destination, strategy is the pathway there, but you are the key to making it happen. I'll see you guys next week. We have a guest expert, Ali Meehan. I'm really excited. So we'll see you next week. Lots of love. Bye.